Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ITTF 2018 Team World Cup, coming to you live from London. I'm your commentator, Adam Bobrow, and with me is Paralympic gold medalist for Great Britain. It's Will Bailey. How you doing, Will?
Hey, Adam. I can't wait for this match. It's going to be an awesome match. It's going to be fantastic. How do you think it's going to go?
Well, it should be exciting. After all, these are the two teams that battled to face China in the final in Malaysia in 2016, the semi-final match between the British boys and the Japanese team. First time in 33 years for Team England, so very impressive. And I think both teams are strong here. You can see the Japanese team on screen right there. 14-year-old Tomokazu Harimoto, world number 8, Koki Niwa, and Jin Ueda, I think his world ranking might not necessarily represent him super well, but he's tough, he's consistent, and he's fast. Tell us a little bit about the British boys.
Well, I think obviously they've improved so much over the last few years. I've managed to train with them a few times as well, and such great lads. What I think is their main strength here is their team spirit, their togetherness, and I think that could prove vital in today's match against such a superior opponent in Japan. I really hope England come together and fight, and maybe they can pull off a shot. It would be awesome if they could.
Definitely a chance out here. Could go either way. Of course, Japan, the favorites on paper, and just looking at sheer lineup, but it is the top three. And after all, Sam Walker was the one who pulled off the big victory against Yuya Oshima in Malaysia. And I mean, with Paul Drinkhall and pitch, anything could happen. It is the home court advantage here, playing here in Copper Box Arena, a beautiful venue, and I think this is the first day of competition, so players still getting warmed up, getting sort of into it. For Japan, this is their second. Earlier today, Tomokazu Harimoto had quite an interesting match with Omar Assar of Egypt. Very exciting.
Yeah, that looked like a great game. 4-3, I think it was. Harimoto, fantastic player, 14 years of age. Still can't believe it every time we look at him. He looks like a man now. I was watching him train in the training hall earlier and looked so sharp.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see him play.
One of the biggest guys now on the Japanese team, probably the same height as Maharu Yoshimura, and I'd say a little bit thicker and stronger, so we'll see. He's fast, and it was a 3-2 win. All games, or all matches rather, are best of 5 games, first team to win 3. It's interesting with the new doubles format here. I think it makes it a little bit less predictable what could happen and puts even more pressure on the doubles. The importance, the value of taking this match is even greater.
It's very exciting having the doubles first. I like it. I think it puts a little bit of pressure under maybe the better team, I think. I think England can just go for it here. These two actually very experienced boys now, played at the highest level. Paul Drinkhall represented England in London 2012 and in Rio 2016. So he can do it, and I hope they can come good. The Japanese pair so quick. Koki Niwa, legend of the sport, and I just can't wait to see these guys live. It's going to be a real uphill battle for England, don't you think?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough for England, but you know, who thought that they would get so far in 2016 in Malaysia? And Pitch has been playing very well in league. I mean, he just had 2 big wins in his last. I think Matane was one that he beat, and he had another good win, maybe Antoine Achard. But either way, I've seen him playing in league. He's pulled off some very impressive victories. The right-handed, left-handed combination will favor the Japanese team here. And Koki Niwa has been so successful in the doubles game. Lee Jung-gun, umpire from Korea. You can see her around the world on the world tour. Only the best here. Again, first team to win 3 matches. Each match, first team to win 3 games.
One love.
One of my favorite things about watching Koki Niwa play is that he just produces magical shots. He's got completely different body language than any other player on the court. He just doesn't seem to care. He doesn't look like he wants to be there, and then he pulls out magic. It doesn't matter.
Looks so relaxed in there. Right on cue, went for a chop block straight off the table. I mean, he's such a talented player and such a great player to watch.
Yeah, he once said the only thing he's 100% confident in is table tennis, and it definitely shows when he plays.
That's one of Paul Drinkhall's best shots, that backhand down the line. Fantastic shot here.
And it completely fools the opponents. They were in the other half. Jin Ueda had started turning the backhand corner.
3-0.
So if you look at the overall lineup here and what's expected, if the English boys here can take this match, they've got Pitch in the next spot versus Tomokazu Harimoto. And while Harimoto would be the favorite there, I mean, I wouldn't put it past Pitch to take that, pull off the upset. The time in Kokiniwa right off the bounce, just smothering it. He's very bold when he plays, and that's one of the things that creates that magic. The English women, huh?
They're loving it. The crowd are going to play a big part in this match. Hopefully for England, they can get behind the boys and will them on to what would be an incredible victory if they pull this one off.
It's funny, in 2016 in Malaysia, there was a very small pack, a very small loyal pack of jumping English fans in the crowd to see that happen live.
3-7.
Really sharp start from the Japanese, Alan. Look on top early on.
Yeah, they started off pretty even and then a quick pull ahead here. Nice length there on that ball. You could see the hesitation. I think it was Sam Walker who had to sort of double pump before taking that soft opening. The other side, the backhand chop block. We've seen it tomahawk style with the forehand, both sides of the racket now. Neither one's come down so far, though.
It's a fantastic shot there when it comes off. It really is. I mean, how difficult is that shot to play, to pull off on this level? It's incredible.
Once again, it's the drink hall specialty. Down the line, backhand off the bounce. Feels a little bit like rock, paper, scissors in the sense that if you can't predict what your opponent's going to do, it freezes you. And in this case, Ginuela, I mean, has just guessed the wrong way twice. Nice touch here down the line, though, out wide to the forehand side to extend the lead for the Japanese pair in blue. It's going to be a tough one to counter with the backhand from that far behind the table, but Walker goes for it. I think this is going to be the key. It's sort of the difference between European table tennis and Asian table tennis in general is distance from the table and speed off the bounce, the timing. So 5 game points to the Japanese pair on the receive. Beautiful shot, Kokiniwa, so casual, a flip from the baseline to the table to dominate game number 1. We'll see what happens game number 2 coming up right after this. As the players come back to the table for game number 2, you had a chance to see the English boys over there with their relatively new coach, Marcus Holberg. Used to coach for Sweden, so a lot of experience definitely in the corner. It's interesting to see the life of coaches, how they travel internationally, Will.
Yeah, it's such a vital role coaches play in table tennis. It's I think it's one of the most, integral parts of the sport. When you can go back to the corner, get advice from those guys, they can really change a match.
Absolutely. You want someone in your corner who has the right answers, knows what to say to tune you up, and how to find the opponent's holes. We'll see what happens in game 2. Sam Walker to the second serve.
1-0.
So splitting serves. Not too bad. They're going to have to do a little bit better, though, because it's going to be tough on the receive.
Really positive receive from Drinkle there, flicking out wide to the forehand. Superb receive.
So in terms of age, Sam Walker, that in 2016 we saw some big stuff. Since then, league play. Have you seen much from Sam Walker? Much to report?
I haven't seen too much from Sam, but what I do know is he's mentally so strong, and he will fight. He will give it all in training. Off the table, he puts in a lot of work in the gym. And I think he's improved incredibly, over the last 3 or 4 years. And to be in the England team, to be one of the top players in England, I mean, we didn't know that was possible 7, 8 years ago. And I think he's just improving and improving and improving. And I think he's gonna keep getting better and better.
That's a beautiful shot right down the line. Drinkhall so crisp, cracking it parallel. I mean, for it to not even be touched here, he's shown it on both sides. Backhand down the line, the parallel shot, a little bit riskier, less room on the table, but it's paid off many times now for Drinkhall.
It's a great receive from Walker, really positive with the backhand flick. That's one of his best shots.
And you've mentioned positive a few times. I think that's a good point. It really is important to try and get in early in the point to keep the Japanese pair off the table. This is a tough start, but that angle from Niwa, no chance. Inside-out forehand, bending away.
It's a great shot. So much side spin on the ball, taking it away from Sam all the time.
Yeah, I think credit to the shot before, finding Drinkhall's middle and getting that weaker, shallower shot to create that angle for Niwa. Fast feet for Niwa to step around. But it's the English boys who take the point and step into the lead by 1 here with a second serve. So game number 1, 11-5 domination from Japan. And the English boys have already broken the score from game number 1, holding the opponents to near 4 points.
Superb from Paul over the table here, so quick. Quick hands.
This is a nice abbreviated stroke, too. This is something that we see from Timo Boll and players that are trying to keep up with the world's best. It's really what it takes. I mean, in terms of weight transfer and quick recovery, you just don't have a lot of time to get back and ready. Perfect length on that ball, leaving Koki Niwa in despair right at the back edge of the table. Second towel break of the game. And England leading 7-5. You know, you talked about it being an uphill battle, and one thing we have to consider is, as strong as this Japanese pair is, they've left their ace in the hole out. The top player is the player who plays the first singles match. For both teams, that's the only player who has the potential to play 2 singles matches, the player that you want playing the final singles or whatever, to take 2 singles points for your team.
Yeah, they've backed these two to do the job. These England boys are very experienced, they're not old guys, but they're experienced, they've been there and done it, and they won't be overruled by this at the cover box, and they'll think they're in a match, and they certainly are. I just feel that this is a crucial set for them. That's a superb shot. Again, getting in with his backhand flick, that's such a vital shot, Sam. Superb.
Now, Sam uses his wingspan quite well to get in the short game. Oh, 2 backhands in a row. So this is where it's really important to cross the finish line. You and I talked earlier about mental strength. You know, we saw Kunuk Ja with a 3-0 win over Wang Chun-Ting, who'd come quite close. Kunuk has come very close to beating many players. And we see this with a lot of developing players not being able to cross the finish line.
Yeah, we've all been there, haven't we, Adam? At every level in the sport. When you're playing against a higher level opponent, to get the win, it's so important. That's brilliant to see the England fans in the crowd loving it here.
I think that's the perfect word to describe it. Oh, unfortunate timing. Still 2 game points left coming into the 3rd towel break. This will be wiping away stress. And let's see.
Paul's using all his experience there, just having a word with Sam, calming him down.
6 years the senior of Sam Walker. Sam, 22 years old, on his way up. And I think the timeline for development in European table tennis is a bit later than in Asian table tennis. Oh, that big merciless forehand, the whip. Again, he turns his head, Koki Niwa. Very difficult to predict, saving another game point. Some deep thinking on the receiving side. English boys with the home crowd here. And 1 game point left. Flip goes out, 1-1. Will Bailey's going to be quite excited, as will the home crowd. The team on their feet, and it's tied up. We'll be back for game 3 as you enjoy the highlights to see who takes the lead right after this.
自分が積極的にやっていく。ちょっとウォーカーのチキータだけ少し続きをした方がいいかもしれないな。上田がサーブの出すところにで、後期がフォア前にストップされたボールをフリックしたらストレート待ってから両ハンドでも両ハンドでバックに詰めてまた後期が次進むそのパターン。さっきそのパターンみたいな。そのパターン。
Back for game number 3. Little conversation about the coaching. Coach Yosuke Kurashima, head coach for the Japanese team with the men. And you had asked me if I knew the coach for England now, yeah?
Yeah. I was just asking if you knew him. You had a nice little story.
Short story, ran into Marcus Forberry on the beach in Cambodia. We were both on vacation in a small town. And it's like, whoa, what are you doing here?
Fantastic stuff.
Speaking of which, English boys taking the first point here. Some backcourt high-five action, the break serve of Niwa and Ueda. That unpredictability, again, when you don't have the serve, the most important shot you have is the receive. These are the two most important shots in any rally for the most part.
And I did say, Adam, I said that the team spirit in this England team is so strong. And they look, the body language is fantastic, and they look like they believe here against Japan, and that's so important at this level.
It's funny, Drinkhall and I joked during his Ask a Pro Anything about the boy band. It was the three of them and who would play what. I feel like they all contribute to the team's strengths. Look at this, right down the line again. First the apology from Drinkhall, but the placement just perfect to challenge Ueda from behind the table.
You almost had Drinkhall have a smirk on his face when Kokiniwa played that chop block. He played a really, really unbelievable chop block in that rally. And again.
Oh, but Drinkhall not bothered. He says, yeah, I see your hand, and I raise you with a touch shot in near the net.
Incredible stuff.
Not easy to do, the read. I mean, chop blocks are just so varied, the combination. Once again, and this time it works. Heavy side spin on this chop block. Drinkhall's shot carries off wide. I was walking and talking with a friend recently, my first time here in London, about that shot, that Koki Niwa is one of the three most consistent players in this very unique shot that I think Waldner did with incredible consistency. And then for quite a while, it seemed to have some absence in the game.
Well, I've seen you playing, Adam. I've seen you have a few chop blocks, and maybe you've been watching Koki Niwa a few times.
Well, I definitely have been. I mean, between years of Waldner and Koki Niwa, I think it's tough not to be influenced if you have a creative mind at all, right?
Yeah.
So quick turnaround here. 3 points in a row for the Japanese pair. Got a conversation there on the receive side. Can we flip? Where's it going to go? Tough to read. This is something very similar to Yoshimura's serve, the shovel serve. And here's the timeout for the English boys. I think the receive game, it's a fine balance, right? The flip is important, but if you can't read the serve, it's...
This shovel serve is very effective. One of my good friends, Gavin Rumgave, Scotland.
Service master.
Fantastic shovel serve, and can disguise the ball, backspin, topspin. You don't know what's coming at you when he's serving. Such a good serve, and Koki Niwa demonstrated it there fantastically well.
With all the different weapons that Koki Niwa has, having that serve to set up, I mean, he has such an unpredictable third ball. You know, he's one of the best players in the world. I mean, he's world ranked number 6 currently, and we've seen a lot of big victories. I mean, this is the year at the Asian Champs. Koki Niwa beats Xu Xin. Not too many foreigners beating Xu Xin for the past decade.
Such a talent. You can see the way he plays the game. There's very few players can play like him. Such a talented boy. Man, fantastic stuff.
Down the line again, that backhand. That was the sound of Will clapping in the booth.
I can't help it. I'm getting excited now.
It's tough not to, I understand. Bringing home a gold medal for your country and watching your country play from here. Completely tested the bending ball of Koki Niwa. That little bit of side spin He's just so creative. It's tough. It sends Paul Drinkhall on the chase. Look at the way he brushes that inside-out forehand.
Some of these shots that he can pull off are so difficult. Incredible shots. It's like he's having fun when he's playing. He's enjoying it. He's trying new things. It's incredible.
It's one of the pleasures of watching him play. A little fun fact about Koki Niwa, he is by far the shyest player on the Japanese national team. He doesn't do interviews for Japan. It's not an English thing. He doesn't do interviews, period. Doesn't like pictures, but yet he's here on the main stage for the whole world to watch, pulling off magical shots.
Well, that's quite nice to hear, because you see him playing here and you think this guy, he's so confident. He's just enjoying himself, and maybe this is where he can let himself go when he's playing table tennis.
That's right. Like the invisible glasses you put on your nephew.
Exactly. We all need that place to escape.
That's right, your magic place. Find it. I feel like there's a reference to Hook in there somewhere.
Exactly.
Your happy place. Go to your happy place, Peter. Down near the ground on one knee. Absolutely stand up and clap your foam hand with your real hand for that one. The inside-out finisher, but Walker got down pulling a Tebow practically from one knee with an inside-out backhand. And while this point might not have looked quite as impressive, I was impressed that the English boys were able to calm it down just a little bit, not get overly anxious. The point didn't go their way, but they seemed focused and in control. But 11-6, the Japanese recovery here turn it back around, and they take game number 3 for a 2-1 lead. It's a best-of-5 match. Next game could be the last. Stay right here to find out. Game 4 coming up after this.
サイドスピン入ったりとか、ちょっとずらすとかやる方がいいね。
僕コールの時レシーブさっきストップ一回チキータやって打たれたんですけど、チキータやった方がいいですよちょっと。
いや、そうやったら次ストップいけるときは速いボールいけるときはもうバンといってもいいけど、難しかったらストップずらしたらストップでいかないとガツッといけばバック前とか真ん中ぐらいガツッとこうしたらこれはやれないと思う。やられ高くなったらやられるかもしれない。その辺ちょっとずらしながらさっきのはしょうがない。
Players coming back to the table for game number 4. Paul Drinkhall there to clean it up first, make sure that every bounce is predictable and honest, as predictable as can be against Koki Niwa. What are you thinking, Will?
It's important for England to get a good start in this set. That's what I'm thinking. They need to start fast. See Liam looking on in the background there, willing his teammates on.
I thought that was going to come longer than it did. Just by the time from the ball hitting the racket to the ball hitting the table, it sounded like it would be a long serve. Very clever. Tough to mislead. Koki Niwa makes it look so easy to just mislead people. Paul will try and watch this. Waits for an extra moment, tries to play it straight with the open wrist. What is happening here? This is just shot after shot. Both sides here, you can see the dimples of Walker coming out. Breakdance move. To finish it after all that, Drinkhall was on one foot, fist in the air, absolutely.
Incredible scenes here.
Trying to repeat, Niwa from behind the table, still threatening with that side topspin loop. hesitation there from Sam Walker. Looked like he wanted to turn and decided to go backhand.
I'm looking at the score and it's 4-2, but I don't think England have done too much wrong in this set. They've played some amazing points and they're 4-2 down.
Yeah, it's funny how psychology factors in. It's so many times where I'll be commentating and I'll be like, how are they not winning? You remember that point they had? But it's all worth 1 point. Every point is worth the same. So the quick ones, they count. It's not always the most glamorous rallies, right? I mean, Kanak Job is actually quite an example of that. He was just so consistent today. Nice use of side spin there to brush a little bit. Walker changing it up. So these two serves could be quite crucial in terms of momentum here.
England do need a bit of momentum. Need to find it here.
That backhand Paul Drinkall doesn't even look like he's prepared for it. Where does it come from? See if we can look at this one more time. That was Fan Zhendong's side stroke. That was so short.
Incredible shot. Fast hands from the wrist. So much spin on the ball. Incredible from Paul. Come on.
It's a traffic jam, a big time to get away with that point. Again, the two right-handed players representing England here. If this ball comes back on the table, they're going to have trouble. But just in the nick of time, shot wins the round.
The left-hand, right-hand combination. Japanese certainly is an advantage, I think, Adam.
Absolutely, and doubles. Sets him up nicely in the forehand here. The streak continues. But 4 points in a row.
Set up by Paul Drinkall with the flip there. Unbelievable receive.
They're definitely working. This is smart play. Timeout here on the Japanese side, understandably so. And this is one of the things why doubles, you know, we've talked throughout the day about having the doubles match first. For me, doubles is far less predictable than singles. You know, Ma Long versus Dima, we've seen head-to-head what the record is. But Ma Long, or let's say Xu Xin and Fan Zhendong versus, you know, Tomokazu Harimoto and Yuto Kizukuri have lost twice already. So doubles, I feel like, a lot more wild card factor, and it makes it more suspenseful in terms of energy, momentum. If England takes this match, they've got a little ways to go, but that puts some serious pressure on the Japanese men.
And I think Sam Walker is almost seen as a double specialist in England. Does so well in the mixed doubles, in the men's doubles, in the nationals, always in the final, always winning. And I think he's a fantastic doubles player, and I think this game here is 50-50 now against two of the best players in the world. Koki Niwa, so highly ranked, and yeah, England are pushing them all the way, and that's what I want to see. I think the home crowd might make a difference.
Regardless, yeah, whoever wins, a 5-gamer is always exciting in the best of 5. Oh, just missing the contact on the big ripping backhand. We've seen Drinkall do both, the short strokes. I love that camera shot from right behind the bench, the back of the jackets for the Japanese national team. Now, in case you're curious, a lot of people were asking why Jun Mizutani isn't here. He's been playing a lot lately. Between finishing T2, the All Japan National Championships, Champions League, he's got a lot.
So is that why he's not playing? He's taking a rest, basically?
I think he needs some recovery time, a little bit of a pit stop, and this is similar for Timo Boll. You know, with the Platinum coming up, you've got Qatar, you've got Germany, and in Germany, you also have the German Close, the National Championships coming up next week. So quite full schedules for some of the top athletes in the world.
You just wonder, Adam, when do they get the chance to train, to practice, to try and improve?
Timo Boll didn't have any last year. He didn't train. I mean, he just played matches. It's funny, you know, in the United States, there's a player, Jimmy Butler, who was national champion many times, took a long break due to some serious body condition issues, and at 43 came back to win the national championships. All he did was play matches. That was his training. When you know the game quite well, sometimes that's your stomping ground, testing out what works in game-like situations, changing up your partners. I mean, in certain industries, it's not so safe, but in table tennis, it's quite important.
Incredible. You have to be very talented just to play matches and still compete at such a high level.
this is not something we see that much. Koki Niwa with time, but I think it was smart. Paul Drinkhall spins it out in front, forcing Koki Niwa to step in. Changes the timing a little bit.
Just ask Koki Niwa a few questions there. Really clever topspin.
So it's that 3 in a row now for the English boys, the British boys.
Great receiver, Adam. What a touch.
I'm watching
I've got to give it to him. I've got to give it to him.
It looked like you were going to punch through the control box for a minute, and then you're like, great receive. An apology there. Polite Paul Drinkhall, 2 game points as they go to the towel box for the 3rd towel break of this game, looking to send it to a decider.
Paul's experience paying off here in these sort of situations. Looks so cool, calm and collected. Ready to take one of these points.
And as cool, calm, and collected as he is, he did not collect that point with the forehand flip. Not over yet. Harimoto on the right there getting, you have to imagine he was in the practice hall before, back and ready for Liam Pitchford. But we'll see. I think the crowd would love to see Game 5. Pitch in the background there. And this time it comes down. Hands in the air.
What a flick. Superb stuff. Come on, boys. We're going to a 5th.
All right, here we go. Buckle your safety belts. The deciding game number 5 in the rematch of the semifinal from the World Team Championships in Malaysia. Right here, right now, at the 2018 World Team Cup, the Team World Cup. Game 5 coming up right after this.
I think we should keep that. And then if we get up to 5, that is really good also. So that's the beginning here now.
So who I'm playing to?
Yeah, exactly. Come on, boys.
Yeah, and as well. Almost all the time.
So
I don't
like
mind to do that.
and always
Because if I flick to his forehand, it's
Come on, boys.
Back for game number 5. A little bit of momentum behind the hometown team here. Paul Drinkhall and Sam Walker taking it to game 5. Now, Will, you were talking a little bit about how important this match is.
I think this is the biggest match of them all. If they take this doubles match, I think it's just going to relax Liam against Harimoto, and I feel he may well have a chance in that game. Playing relaxed, he's such a talented player, Liam. That's a great start there by Japan.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's also interesting in the team event. This one more time, Ueda completely turned sideways to win that. But in the team event, you're playing for more than yourself. I mean, you come into this with one on your side already. That forehand flip once again, the same one that won game number 4. Effective out here. But you really are playing for the team. You feel a sense of responsibility. You sort of bring your level up like Sam Walker did in the singles to beat Iya Oshima in Malaysia.
Exactly, and that's what we saw earlier with the USA team. I saw the togetherness of the whole team. It affected the performance in the singles matches. And that's what we're seeing here. The togetherness of the England team is really paying off against Japan here. And they can pull this off.
Clever idea from Walker, a bit of side spin, that swiping shot from over the table, but it doesn't come down, and it's 2s all across. Oh, the timing, Ueda, cracking power from a step and a half behind the table. You know, I really wonder if the English boys can take this, then there's more pressure on the Japanese team, but every single singles match is an uphill battle for the English team. There's a chance in every one, but none of them are going to be easy.
No, exactly, and that's why this doubles match is so important. It will really kick-start this match for England, and they need this doubles. 4-2 down now, they're going to have to pull it back. These guys believe in themselves, they're strong characters, these two, and I believe they can pull it off.
strong in the opening. Niwa stepping into the middle of the table for the backhand. As a left-handed player, the more obvious choice would be to take a forehand and leave the open forehand for Jin Ueda, but Koki Niwa keeping it unpredictable. So they switch sides here as it's 5 points scored in the deciding game. And they're also going to switch orders of receiver now. Back to the way it was in game number 4.
To be fair, Adam, these two doubles pair, the pair of Japan, they've got Harimoto coming in next. That might even relax them a little bit more, knowing they've got Harimoto coming in for the next singles match.
I wonder, I mean, for you and I, that makes perfect sense. Part of me imagines that they are so focused on this, much like focusing on 1 point at a time and not thinking about later stuff. But that is a very good point to bring up. I mean, they've got their ace in the hole, top-seeded player. I guess technically Harimoto is a lower world ranking than Koki Niwa right now. But, I mean, Harimoto, the youngest ever national champion of Japan, youngest ever junior world champion. He beat Jun Mizutani their last 2 encounters. At least on the world tour he did it. The world championships, the biggest stage of them all. And then at the national championships to stop Jun Mizutani's already, what, a 9-time national champion. A record holder in Japan.
Wow. Such a strong country as well, such a strong table tennis country.
Okay, a long tunnel here, but a little flicker of light, a little spark here. Nice shot here, a little bit slower and spinnier. The ball dropping under the racket. Pumping each other up. Long way to go. Walker right off the bounce, quite quick.
Great shot that from Sam. Liam Pitchford, I can see him just getting further and further away from the table in the background there. Trying to get behind his boys, get behind this England team.
I love PD. What was that? Paul Drinkall.
Yeah, got it. That's the one.
Got it. I was like, it's that or either this guy loves England and the police department. So several in a row now, 3 points in a row. No timeouts left for the Japanese side.
Great body language in the England guys. We're down and out, we thought, but they didn't.
Hope, quite powerful. Wow. I mean, I've seen a lot of great comebacks in recent history in table tennis, but this is, again, the most anticipated matchup head-to-head in terms of history. These two teams, it's already starting with a lot of suspense here, a lot of back and forth. Oh, big point here, Drinkall. Rehearsing his touch, rolling the ball on the racket right after that finds the net.
You feel the nerves of both teams coming in. I can feel a bit of tension in the air for these points. Big points in the match. Maybe the Japanese tightening up a little bit as well, Adam.
Yeah, it is a lot of pressure. I think they have to know this. I mean, it's not that long ago that they had Jun Mizutani on their team and still almost lost to England. That's a tough shot. Niwa playing parallel, a little bit of side spin on it as well. That's one of the things about having such an unpredictable and funky game, is that it's just someone's not experienced. It breaks their rhythm. They're not practicing against these shots quite as much. 3 match points for Niwa Ueda. Played into the middle, right into the body, and Japan escapes strong performance from Koki Niwa and Jin Ueda to secure this win. And a great effort from Paul Drinkall and Sam Walker to show some excitement, some passion, and real spirit out here, but it's going to be up to pitch in the next spot to avoid a 0-2 deficit for a chance against the junior world champion and the ace in the hole for Japan. Look at that slap shot from Koki Niwa, just so tricky. What are your thoughts, Will?
Well, I think it's a massive match coming up for Liam. I hope he does it. I hope he can pull it off. I'm looking forward to see Harimoto as well. Such a talent at 14 years old. Incredible. Just saw him in the training hall earlier. Looks so sharp. And I can't wait to see this match. I think the Japanese held it together well there in the 5th, but I think the England boys did us proud. It was superb, both of them, Sam and Paul. Superb effort from the England boys there.
Yeah, I think, you know, with Liam Pitchford, you got 2 fiery players. Between Harimoto, of course, no question about how bad he wants it. He will be screaming, he will be fighting, and he will be giving it his all every moment. And Pitch, as much as I know, and I think we both know him on a personal level, he definitely does not let people walk on him. So he will be fighting till the very end.
Yeah, Pitch is a strong northern boy, north of England, and he's a tough cookie, you know, so he'll be up for the fight, he'll be up for the match, and I don't think he'll be daunted playing Harimoto. I think he'll be well up for the challenge.
All right, stick around. That match will be coming up in just probably under a minute. They'll be getting into warm-up. Stay right here for the first singles match, Japan versus England. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ITTF 2018 Team World Cup. I'm Adam Bobrow, your commentator, and joining us shortly will be Will Bailey, Paralympic gold medalist, class number 7. That's Tomokazu Harimoto right there, 14 years old, world rank number 11. Many predict that he will be world number 1 in the not too distant future. A lot of anticipation about 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games. Now that was peculiar. Watching his eyes there, it looked like he was watching the opponent and not the ball when he was blocking. I'd love to see that footage again, but that's pretty fancy stuff. Liam Pitchford here, 24 years old, 10 years the senior. World rank number 85, as you can see. And again, he's been playing very well. He was part of the winning team in Ultimate Table Tennis, the Indian Premier League that just started last year. Wouldn't be surprised to see him back in 2018. He's very wristy. He's comfortable from off the table and close, as Ma Long and Fan Zhendong study there briefly. Off in the corner, they will be watching because England was the team that was very close to joining them in the final in 2016. So Pitch, let's see, a lot of clever serves. A bit more spinny game, a bit more touch and feeling, I would say, than Harimoto. But Harimoto so fast off the bounce, so comfortable and aggressive to start early. Mario Rifrashini there, our umpire from Italy. We've seen him on the world tour. And here he is at an event that's been intended to be had every 2 years or so. Last time was in Dubai in 2015. That was a very exciting one. We've already had, I feel very fortunate to be here for this. It was the North Korean women versus the Chinese women, the final in Dubai that was played this morning, but China had a clean sweep. And now it's the rematch of 2016 Malaysia. Will, how you feeling about this?
Oh, I can't wait for this game, Adam. I think Liam could come of age here. I think this could be his time in front of his home crowd, in front of a London crowd. And really hoping the best for Liam.
Starting off with a behind-the-back attempt. If he wins this point, it's got to be quite scarring for Harimoto. But I think he's very well trained, very focused. After all, Harimoto had 2 games in the lead against Omar Asar earlier. Omar was way behind in the 3rd, came back to win. Way behind in the 4th, came back to win. And that did not crush or break Harimoto's spirit or concentration.
So important. Liam gets a good start here. So strong. Backhand off the bounce, a real strength of his.
How fast Harimoto is on that step around. You know, when he was 11 years old, he was beating, Omar Asar, Jens Lundqvist. I think at that point, he didn't have nearly the power he has now. But here's some power demonstrated clearly from Pitch. Little lap to stay warm, keep the blood flowing.
Positive start from Liam.
Anthony, wristy backhand over the table.
It's a real strength of Liam. His backhand flicks, backhand off the bounce. Really good from Liam. Good start, positive.
Now, one thing about a player with his build, the short forehand side, that flip can be very effective. It looked like he stood upright for a moment there. I think he was a little surprised with the placement of the ball. Harimoto changing it up nicely. Now, Harimoto, while he, of course, can spin the ball from both sides, is very comfortable with a bit flatter game.
That's a great flip there from Liam. Superb stuff.
Do you know them?
I don't, unfortunately.
Okay.
Harimoto seems so big. He looks so much bigger than... Every time I see him, he looks bigger, stronger, more powerful.
Which is surprising because his dad, Yu Harimoto, who's been in his corner a lot, is quite a small man. His dad, Harimoto, Tomokazu Harimoto, has passed him by quite a bit. So tied up here, Pitch is in the lead by 1. But just like anything else, starting strong. If he can take the first game against Harimoto, he's going to have a bit more hope, a bit more confidence. Nice change of position here to mix things up. But Harimoto finding the middle. That was a good start, I thought. A long serve to the backhand from where he was standing. This is going to be tough to receive. Harimoto rarely phased. I love this rally.
Superb stuff from Pitch there. And I think he's going about it the right way. I think he's got a chance in him. I think he knows it. I think he knows this could be a massive win for him.
It's so interesting, to see these backhand, and I agree with everything you said, but in these backhand-to-backhand rallies, they both really played chicken with each other. And right now, down the line, parallel, we talked about the backhand-to-backhand rally, and Harimoto, after losing that, says, "No, I don't want that rally. Let's change it up. I'm going to stretch you wide. Let's test that wingspan." And the reverse pendulum serve short to the forehand, effective out here. Harimoto up by 2 now.
Come on, Liam, this one.
Right down the line, smothering it. As strong as Pitch is from off the table, with that much time for Harimoto to react, even the side spin, Harimoto's not known for creating side spin, but he doesn't seem to have too much trouble handling it. Cracking backhand just long, and it is 4, just wide, I should say. 4 game points for the 10 years the younger Harimoto. Good placement from Harimoto, but still Pitch covers the middle. That's tough, when you're that size, you've got a much bigger middle to be played to.
Superb stuff from Liam Pitchford. Brilliant. Counter topspin there with the forehand to win the point. England fans, they're getting behind their boy.
Yeah, I'm on TV.
Come on.
Love it. So 2 game points saved. And he dangles the serve off the forehand side, tempting Harimoto 3 in a row. This is the type of comeback. It's not over yet. Pitch still needs the next 3 points in theory. The backhand does it. He's tied up.
Big point from Liam. And the England boys are on their feet here. They know this is big.
I feel like I'm on the team bench. It's sort of fun, Oh, big escape for Harimoto. Pitch, after 4 points in a row, gets the clear forehand. But the pressure of knowing that Harimoto's where you want to hit it.
Harimoto's so focused, isn't he, throughout the match, throughout this first game.
And a break here for Pitch. He keeps it alive, saves another game point. 5 game points saved by Pitch. It's funny, Pitch was on the opposite end of this situation, having many game points. I think he was up 10-6 in Malaysia, not able to close the match. Short stroke on the forehand, just keeps the racket up and guides it back into Harimoto's backhand side. Game point once again.
This is a fantastic shot. Plays it down the line. I think surprised Harimoto, thought he was going to go across court. That's a great play from Pitch.
And now he's got the serve on his side with the game point. Harimoto is no cakewalk in the park, but Pitchford up 1-0 now. We'll see what happens. Game number 2 coming up right after this.
Service. Even half long. Don't play hard. Just spinning it.
Yeah,
I can go on the
yeah, it's a second. When you get this half long form, always that.
I'm going too fast.
Yeah, lite.
Go.
Yeah, just keep working with the feeling.
Don't need to play hard against them. Like at the end, one slow one down the line to backhand.
Because you buy time also when you take it. Exactly.
Oh, go on, Pitch. Come on, come on.
Back for game number 2, Harimoto. This is where it's tough. I'd say the test of mental strength. You have 4 game points where you're expected to win. Can't close out game 1. But a quick start, quite positive early in the rally. Harimoto getting fired up, takes the first point against serve.
Good serve from him. That's causing a few problems to Harimoto, that reverse serve. Backspin on the ball. It's really good from Pitchford.
That's such a beautiful backhand. And the length of the shot before is what caused Harimoto to play a hesitant shot from the baseline passively, setting Pitch up for that dream backhand that he's so fluid with. Harimoto hits a 70% spin shot, and Pitch just smokes the ball past him. How does it not crack?
He looks super focused here, Liam Pitchford. He looks like he believes that he can do it.
Absolutely, they're using a double fish ball. That could have separated the 2 fish. An atomic fish explosion out here. And when it comes to belief, I don't question for a moment that Pitch believes he can do it. No matter who the opponent is, it'll break here. Nice shot down the line from Harimoto to tie it up.
Yeah, I agree, Adam. He's so strong mentally. He'll believe that he can take on anyone. And on his day here, he's proven that he can. It's a real dangerous player to play against when he believes in himself and he's playing like this. Superb.
It is unbelievable to me how fast that backhand is. I've seen it a lot, even from deeper on the table, but he's getting more and more consistent with experience. Pitch definitely on his way up in the world. Oh, catches the edge of the table. Just a nick there on the very edge. Wow, that was fate.
Harimoto under the cosh here a little bit, Adam. Under pressure.
Well, I want to say just, for the fans, if you're a table tennis fan, if you're not just flipping through the channels, if you are flipping through the channels, congratulations on finding this gem. But for the fans, a lot of people ask, is Harimoto a nice guy? And he's completely fair. He's an absolute gentleman. He's a good sportsman. I mean, he's as kind as they come. I don't think anyone should confuse his fight and his fire inside on the table for bad sportsmanship.
And it's sometimes hard to sort of, put into context his age. He's 14 years old, and when I watch him play, he's a man, but he's not. He's a boy. He's still a boy, isn't he?
Well, it depends. It really depends. 10 years from now, we'll see. I mean, Timo Boll used to scream when he was a kid. He used to fight more. And now he's, when it's appropriate. But the level, I'd say, of empathy on the table and the consideration for how to use your energy is quite different with age. I don't think at 14 years old, Harimoto is short of much energy. I mean, we've seen him playing T2. We've seen him playing All Japan. We've seen him playing a lot on the World Tour, World Junior Championships.
I just think for his age, so mentally strong, so mentally tough. Such a fighter. For his age, he's not fearful of anyone. Doesn't matter if he's playing a Chinese player, top Chinese player, he's still going to go in there and have a fight. And that's what I love about him. He's very ballsy, we say.
6-9.
So right now, pitch. The point before this is quite big for me. I mean, Harimoto can come back. After all, he is the favorite to win this match in terms of world ranking and just performance as of late.
9-7.
It's a big time here. I think if Pitch can get the backhand into play, anything he can do to stay in near the table with that backhand, you could see how far from the table he was. When Harimoto has time, unless you've got Shushin hitting it around the net shot, Harimoto tends to get it back in play.
This is a massive set for Liam. Come on, Pitch. 9-8. If Harimoto takes it, I think it's going to be really tough. If Pitch takes it, I think he's favourite for the match.
No question about it, up 2-0. Mentally, just on the scoreboard itself, he's got his second serve here. There's the backhand, he gets the third ball, he's in position, short to the forehand side. Smart combination. As strong as the forehand is of Harimoto, if you can get him to play the backhand on the forehand side, it leaves open a gaping hole. And that's exactly what Pitch was looking for. 2 game points for a 2-0 lead. And Pitch does it! Stands over the table, and Harimoto's shot goes long. Superb stuff indeed. 11-8. In game number 3, we will see if this is a clean sweep, a donut, a bagel, a shutout, or if Harimoto will turn on the comeback train engine. Game number 3 coming up right after this.
今何もやってこないんだからだったらそこに出すでやってここにチキータしてくるようになったらちょっと真ん中とかバックとかロングサーブ今ここでしかやってないのにロングサーブ出すとあんまり意味ないバックうまいんだからそこをよく自分で考えないと冷静じゃないんだあいつのサーブいいよワイドのサーブ真ん中からのワイドよくレシーブできるように潰していかないとあと相手のサーブに対して打たれたボールに対して自分あんまり行かなくて大丈夫ブロックして次打てるボールを自分で行かないとさあまだ1ゲームしっかりして
Let's go, come on, go. Red game, Japan to serve, level.
Here we go, game number 3. Harimoto trailing 0 games to 2. And Pitch with a strong start. The fire is not dimming at all.
Go on then, Liam.
You know, the mental toughness test yesterday against Omar Asar, it was an A+ from Tomokazu Harimoto and coming back. Pitch not bothered at all. It looked like a little bit of side spin on that. And here's the timeout. It's a pretty late timeout. I'm surprised. Coach Kurashima, more typically, I think he just believed that Harimoto didn't need the timeout, that he would take the game before. But look how focused and how zeroed in. This is a Chiquita from the back of the table. The side spin doesn't throw Pitch at all.
So much spin on that backhand, isn't there, Adam? That Liam Pitch with backhand is world class.
It's funny, it was almost like role reversal. When we see Harimoto, he's not usually putting side spin on it. He's the one taking the opponent's side spin and converting it to straight top spin aggressively. But Pitch did the exact same thing here to the side spin. Harimoto really, I talked to him in the airport, he's not much of a touch player. He's not interested in creative stuff, hitting the side spin, but he's trying out here because when you're down 0-2, it's a good sign in a best of 5 that you need to try some new stuff, right? He tries the soft shot, tries to play it deep and let Pitch open up.
Pitch really on top here, playing some amazing table tennis.
This is something we saw Ma Long do at the World Championships last year.
This is the best.
Batting practice. Fast long serve, he crushes that ball.
He needs to keep going and stay focused. He's in the zone right now. He is in the zone.
And finally, a human moment from Liam Pitchford. I mean, Pitch pulling superhero-like reactions out here. Still a long way to go, but he has to stay focused. The turn could come quickly. One after another, both sides. Look at that, coaching staff on the feet, the England women, the England men, everybody out here watching Pitch pull out just flawless play.
You just see people in the crowd with smiles on their faces. It's world-class table tennis here.
Nice shot here, nice bend. This is Harimoto mixing it up again. We saw this early on from Harimoto, right after the backhand-to-backhand exchange. Quick bend down the line, the parallel shot, still 4 points between them. Nice side spin inside out forehand from Pitch. I'm watching the body language of Harimoto right now, and it's deflating. It's tough, Will.
He looks under pressure. He does look like a young boy here. Pitch is dominating him. Superb stuff. Well, we call him Peter Crouch in England because of footballer. Do you know Peter Crouch, footballer?
I don't.
No. Very similar looking to Liam Pitchford.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Harimoto.
And Crouchy's doing the business.
9-2.
In terms of business right now, look at this, 9-2, 2 points away from absolute devastation.
3-9.
So coming into the second towel break, a small piece right there, small piece of mind, a step in the right direction for Harimoto. Could it be? I don't know. I mean, we've seen 10-4. We've seen 10-4 on many occasions in recent history, from Jun Mizutani against Xu Xin to Timo Boll against Lin Gaoyuan.
Liam's just flowing. The shots are flowing out of him.
And this is a big time right here. It earns him 6 match points. Little break, wasn't sure if it was the contact off the edge of the racket, but a very audible sorry from Pitch, and he's got 2 serves if he needs a second one. And he will. 1 match point saved by Harimoto, but 1 more serve here with 5 match points left. Pitch's reverse pendulum, as you mentioned, has been effective. Shovel serve, and look at this! Look at this! He could be running for office right now. Hands in the air, and he turns to the crowd. A lick of the lips and the job well done. The match has been sealed 3-0 over one of the top players in the world, Tomokazu Harimoto. This is the very first day of the tournament. Harimoto has days ahead, depending on the outcome of this overall team matchup, Will.
Amazing, and you can see the boys, smiles all around from the England boys. They can't believe the performance. They're just so delighted for Liam. And I'm delighted for him. I know how hard he works, how much he trains, how much he puts into it. And he deserves this win, Adam.
Absolutely. I'm happy for him as well. The compassionate side of me feels for Harimoto as well. But being in London, this is a moment of excitement for the majority of the live crowd. And it does make things more interesting because it ties up the series right now at 1 match apiece. So the overall team matchup will be looking at Paul Drinkhall and Jean Ueda in the next singles match. Will, quite unpredictable. I think that one could go either way as well.
Yeah, it's a massive match, and you know it's 1-1 now. This is superb stuff from England, just to be competing against such a strong team. And I hope England can push it. The longer it goes on, the more chance England have got of winning this time.
Well, let's see. We'll give our voices a break for a few minutes, give you a chance to run and use the restroom or enjoy the highlights. Again, 3rd match, 2nd singles, Jean Ueda and Paul Drinkhall coming up right after this. England in position.
So fantastically for Liam Pitchford brings England to 1-all. Now Paul Drinkle takes the stage against Japan.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2018 ITTF Team World Cup, coming to you live from Copper Box Arena in London. I'm your commentator, Adam Bobrow, and have the pleasure of Paralympic bronze medalist Will Bailey to join me in the commentary booth. How you doing, Will?
I'm really good. When you call me a bronze medalist, I'm a gold medalist, but that's all right.
I am
let you
so
off.
sorry.
That hurts,
Gold
man.
Absolutely.
That
I've known
hurts,
it. For some reason, the word, it's the same amount of syllables. They're both beautiful colors. You won the gold. Nobody got in front of you, and you deserve that gold. Absolutely.
I've won a bronze as well, so I'll let you off, man. I'll let you off.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
I can't wait for this game. How do you feel it's going to go, Adam?
You know, I'm quite curious as well. I'd like to look into the head-to-head here. Gene Ueda, 26 years old, world number 27, has pulled off some very big wins over players with better world rankings. I mean, he's so consistent, he's so fast, and he's so smooth. But Paul Drinkle, I mean, I'll let you talk in more detail about his game. But we saw just earlier today in doubles how many parallel shots he played, how compact his backhand can be. He's quite crafty. He's quite clever on the table.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting match. We were talking earlier about this game, and you said Gene Ueda is such a consistent player on the tour, and I think that's what's going to make this a really tough match for Paul. But Paul's so dynamic. His power is incredible. Really seen him in the gym lifting weights, and he's just a natural, powerful athlete. And you can see that when he's playing, so dynamic. The ball's flying through the air so fast when he hits it. And on his day, he can cause trouble to any player in the world.
Now, when you look at these two players side by side, as powerful as Gene Ueda is, I would think of him as faster. He doesn't hit quite the cracking shots that we see from Paul. Paul develops a bit more, power, gets more spin and everything else behind the ball. But this is part of the difference between European and Asian timing. You know, physically, there are different builds, a little bit smaller on average in Asia. So using that speed to their advantage, playing more compact, quicker shots, tends to work out well.
I'm a big fan of Paul, the way he plays. I love watching him play. He's such a dynamic player. And I can't wait to see him here. Remember, one of the best juniors in the world, Paul Drinkle, number 1 or 2 in the world.
Spectacular start. I mean, there were about 3 occasions again where I thought the shot would win the rally. Gene Ueda with both feet in the air on the run, cross court. Paul Drinkle tested too. I don't think you think of Paul Drinkle for his footwork or his speed, but he is so comfortable and so quick to recover. Even in the back court, he just stays in the rallies, not afraid to counter loop on either side and move his way back in.
I love this start from Paul. Really positive stuff, really going for his shots. And England just seems to have a momentum here. Adam.
Definitely brings some hope and encouragement to the team when you've got Liam Pitchford winning 3-0 over the ace in the hole, Tomokazu Harimoto, chosen to play 2 singles at that. Although the same is said for Pitch, right? He is the player that if 2 singles are needed, I mean, Pitch will play another match, no matter what at this point. Tomokazu Harimoto may not. That's up to England to decide if this goes 5 or if it goes 4. Interesting idea there. Some soft, spinny ones, and then when he has the opportunity, played quick.
Paul's really good at following up off his long, really long, fast serve, coming in, cracking it with his forehand. Really good at that. Tried to set that play up there, just missed. But really positive start here from Paul.
Oh, testing the angles, inside out forehand, wide to the backhand side, and then hooking the other way. Can't ask for much more than that. Looks like a warm hat there, Davy Crockett style in the crowd. Is Davy Crockett famous here, Will?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say a lot of people know. Yeah, know him.
I only grew up in one country, so I just need to check in sometimes on childhood.
Let 3, 4.
For me, this is Chinese national team strike from Paul. He's off balance, and he gets that full extension and still manages to play quite a threatening shot, and it wins the point.
Paul's technique's so strong. Forehand shot is so strong. Had a Chinese coach from the cadets all the way through to being a senior, and you can see his forehand stroke so powerful, so technically right. Superb stuff from Paul.
It's funny, I don't really need to do advertising for Chinese coaches. You just look at the rest of the world and the national teams. I mean, you see Chinese coaches all over, from the practice partners of the Japanese women to some of the other coaches. And it's definitely a nation that knows table tennis quite well and has some details, from the weight transfer to everything footwork and training. The diligence, having a Chinese coach can definitely pay off. And I hate to generalize so much. Of course, do your homework and make sure, check your sources. But Paul Drinkhall definitely has been raised by some wise people. Cookie, the head of the program now, Coach Aaron Cook.
Aaron Cook, legend of England table tennis. Really popular figure in England, and has led this team. You know, they've improved so much over the last few years and had some great results.
He's quite a lovable guy, too. I mean, he's charming, he's friendly, he's funny, he's smart, he sure believes in his boys. He's behind them all the way. So a little change in momentum here. Gina Ueda stepping out in front.
5, 8.
This is good anticipation for me. Ueda, after the flip there, sees he's got a little softer shot that he can capitalize and come back with some power against Drinkhall. We'll break off the net, some fortune in the apology there.
Unlucky there from Paul.
Edge of the racket. That's one of the shots where you check to see if the ball's cracked.
Didn't sound good, did it? Heard that from here.
It always goes to remind me, Dima versus Fan Zhendong. I think it was the World Tour Grand Finals a few years ago when Dima was up 2-0 and it was deuce. Fan Zhendong broke the ball in 2 halves. I guess 1 3/4 and 1 1/4. Interestingly enough, the 1/4 of the ball came down on the table.
Incredible.
Really unusual, right out of a movie, and that was when Fan Zhendong came back to turn things around and win the match. Drinkhall now with 2 serves, needs to convert them both to tie it up. Clever idea, but tough to come in all that distance to get in for that short forehand flip cross court. 3 game points to Gina Ueda to take the first in a best of 5. Again, more important, a greater percentage of the game right here with the first game of the match. Beautiful response, he stays pinned, he predicts well.
Great backhand down the line there from Paul. The England boys off their feet.
Now you've played a world-class level, again, a gold medalist, not to be confused with bronze, which you also won, but a gold medalist, Paralympics, class 7. In competition, when you serve this ball, I mean, not moving, how often did you find yourself leaving a little bit early and caught out of position?
Yeah, I mean, very often it's an incredibly hard skill, and when you watch table tennis play at this level, they make it look easy, but I can tell you every single shot they're playing here is so much spin on the ball. The ball's moving so fast, and they deal with it so well. Incredible shots.
Well handled here. Gina Ueda takes game number 1, 11 points to 8, and we'll be back for game number 2. Paul Drinkhall versus Gina Ueda, England versus Japan, right after this.
サーブやってまた次出してくるからあれやれなかったらもうあとはもうストップ丁寧にやってたまに長くもうそのパターンで十分。たださっきみたいにちょっとたまにバック前に来た時にチキータ行く時できればまあ真ん中かもう少し威力さっきのちょっとキュッと入れに行ってたから少しカッといくというそのぐらいの勝負していくあとはもうロングサーブでもうちょっとこれと次回り込んできたらブロックでもう回せばいいぐらいの次それで十分それしかも得点パターンがあとはステーナー勝負いいぞシャス
For game number 2, Paul Drinkhall down 0 games to 1 in front of the home crowd. Gina Ueda starting off strong. Now has the serve to start. So real question for you. What do you think we're going to see? What do you think needs to happen for Paul Drinkhall to get more of an advantage and sort of even out the game score here?
I think Paul needs to go for shots, play positively. Such an aggressive player, flick, forehand flick, backhand flick, receive positively, and I think he's going to have a chance. He gets his forehand in so well. As you said, his movement, he can move so well, read the game, backhand down the line. He's just got to keep playing positive, keep pressuring Ueda, who's so solid, as you said.
Now, close to the table, definitely, this is one of the main differences. It's why you see players like Bastian Stega not really competing with the top Chinese players, despite being one of the best European players. Distance from the table and timing. Paul Drinkhall, if he can stay close, just keep it deep on the shot before, he's going to be much more effective. Nice turn from the backhand corner, but just more of a pivot. You didn't see him run around completely. He knows he needs to keep his positioning because he can't afford to leave open one side of the table. Again, in the modern game, I feel like a backhand is so important with the speed of the players and the pressure near the table. Clever idea, parallel forehand, top of the net and out.
Paul, a real family man. Married to Jo Drinkle, one of the best England women who's had another baby now, so he's not playing at the moment, but a really great table tennis family.
Little fun fact since we have Japan involved. I just learned earlier today, chatting with Miu Hirano, that she is actually related to Yuto Muramatsu. Wow. They're cousins. They have the same grandpa.
Small world.
Sure seems like it, especially in Japan, right? There's so many siblings. So Paul Drinkhall married a champion, yeah? Power! I thought for a moment the ball might have clipped his shirt or something the way he stood up. Look at that, wrapping around, bending inside-out forehand. I'm excited for the last day of this tournament when it's one table and we see Paul Drinkhall in front of a black curtain and the spotlights making these shots. Both players, everyone who's playing, but still we've got 4 tables operating right now. Make sure if you're watching this live that when you finish today, this is the last televised match of the day. You go back to ITTF.com. 4 tables on live stream to get you your table tennis fix. Ooh, dribbler over the top of the net there.
Really good receive from Paul as well, short touch receive. Keeping Ueda out. Bit of luck from the Japanese player. Paul, though, seems to be coming into his own here. Starting to gather some momentum.
A much stronger start than the last game. So much side spin is on that ball right after it bites the top of the net.
Really good receive from Paul again. Reading the side spin serve. Half long receive. Well played, Paul.
I think this is one of the skills that for players that are getting a little bit, say, mid-level tournament players and others, the way you receive the angle of the racket And right here, the length as well. Watch the way he cradles the ball. Paul will often come in, and there's Cookie in the corner, head coach for English men and women. But he'll often cradle the ball, just touch it with a little bit of side spin, play it cross court. And it affects the bounce of the ball. It doesn't jump away from the net as much either.
Sometimes these subtle touches can make such a difference in the rally. Open it up for Paul, and then Paul can get in with his power shots.
You'll see Fan Zhendong doing it. You'll see Ma Long doing it. I mean, these are the people, you know, study the people who succeed, right? You want to know what's working, just see what's working, see who's doing that, and give it a try. But the details are important too, obviously. I mean, Paul Drinkhall knows what it's like to work hard. Back edge of the table for Ueda. Very faint. Sort of like when we saw Pitch. I think we thought it was Harimoto's point, and Pitch immediately apologized. Wanted to make sure that the point didn't go the wrong way.
Let's go. Continue play.
Sounded like a little warning on delay there. No stalling, please play.
Let 5-8.
I was watching Paul's elbow there on the receive, and it reminded me, we see the robots playing table tennis, some of these viral videos on social media. Oh, and he fools him after all that. The around-the-net recovery from Ueda so low. Paul Drinkhall left with very little opportunity. Goes into the teardrop shots, gets Ueda up on 1 foot, and Drinkhall not in the right area code for that last shot.
He's enjoying himself though, Paul. That was a sensational rally.
Wow. What a hustle from Ueda to get that ball from maybe a foot over the ground.
8-7.
Timeout.
Sure looks like it. The timeout it is. What do you think Marcus Horbury might be talking about right now?
I think he's going to set up a play, see how Paul feels, what serve he's going to go for next. They'll be talking tactics now. Sam looking on, Sam Walker there, very focused. Played a really good doubles earlier, but Paul seems so relaxed, so experienced at this level now, Paul Drinkhall. Doesn't look overboard at all.
You know, it's interesting we talk about the dynamics in culture, respect, and it's different from culture to culture, but for the Asian teams, we'll see during timeouts between games, the entire bench will be on their feet with the coach. In England, there's focus and there's respect, but it's just shown differently. And I was going to make a point about it by looking at the Japanese team, but they're nowhere to be found because they're warming up in the practice hall right about now.
Well, I think it's down to the individuals. We, for example, in the Paralympic team, we would sit down as a team before the tournament. Example, the Paralympic Games, and we'd say, you know, as a team, do we all want to stand up or do we all want to sit down to be together? How do we feel about it? And we'd come to some kind of team agreement of how we'd react when players came to the corner.
I have questions about classes combining for team in the Paralympics. I'll probably ask you that in a bit here. Let's see out of the timeout, though. And that's a 4th point in a row for Gene Ueda. At least I remember he was down 4-8. This is tough. Paul Drinkhall having such a strong start, but again, whoever crosses the finish line gets the game. Forehand flip in the big counter. This is a big point here. A bit of a morale boost, I would say.
Well played, Paul. Really good to see. Counter top spin over the table. Quick hands from Paul and showing how much he wants it. Gives it the big fist pump.
Looked like he was getting ready for a chop block on the backhand side. I don't know if I can recall last time I saw Paul Drinkhall doing that, but I wouldn't put it past him.
He's been watching Koki Niwa too much.
In this one, he takes a big risk here. He plays that shot, I'd say, about 80 to 85% to the forehand, but he leaves open the cross-court shot. Still, Gene Ueda has to hit that with side spin, exiting the side of the table to get it out of reach for Paul. This game will be decided by 2 points.
How big's this now, Adam? How big's this point?
Oh, I can't even measure with a yardstick. I'm using units that are not used. England uses proper measurements. A meter stick, there we go.
That's the one.
I like it, so universal. So taking advantage of this serve, he earns game points. Again, even with the England flag upside down, the support is there. And against Japan in 2016, it was very much a possibility. If Paul Drinkhall wins this game and therefore moves on to win this match, it is serious pressure on Japan. Long serve on the follow-up attack. Drinkhall 11-9 ties up the score. One game apiece, and we'll be back for game number 3 right after this.
ちょっと広角に来るからクロスしか出なかった真ん中から出したらみんなストレートいくであとバック前もたまに出してもいいので狙ってチキータ狙うぐらいですでこれのちょっとロングサーブでも出してみたらいいしいろいろやっぱ戦術幅広がっていかないちょっと堅くなになんかこうやってストップするそれするから悪くないですストップとあと長いので持ち上げさせてカウンター狙いそれでいいんだよあとはロングサーブどう対処するかそこスピードでいくかストレートいくか
Back for game number 3. Paul Drinkhall fighting and hanging on 11-9. Some smart play with long serves and getting into the quick rallies. Let's see if that continues here. Game 3 to start. Nice touch from Ueda over the table, but Drinkhall adjusting. Again, Paul Drinkhall has those soft hands in the short game. Here we go, the defense, the shot just missing there. A little bit more of a fishing shot instead of the sky lobs.
Really important this set for Paul. Try and get a good start. Get this crowd behind him.
He's such an exciting player to watch because he moves so freely all around the court. And again, he doesn't look like the fastest player, but when the ball's wide, he tends to get there. And then he's got shots like this. This is Ueda, more consistent between the two, but Paul Drinkhall not afraid to go for the fast pace of play as well.
If Paul gets in the zone, I think he's going to have a massive chance here. He's one of those players, when he starts flying, it's hard to stop.
Nice change of placement, out to the forehand side, more parallel. Team on the feet.
Love that from Paul. Dynamic, power, precision, great stuff. Paul Drinkhall.
Oh, edge of the table, Ueda. Will, you had your hand in the air. You were celebrating too early.
I was celebrating there because I know it's such a big set, this one. Ueda's just playing so well as well. Such a consistent player, Paul. Such a good battle, this. It's like a tug of war.
Oh, nice change again. Drinkhall turning the corner. He had a plan, and it was diffused. This is with a fast, long serve. I mean, this is one of many things to practice in the receive game, but you don't want to be bullied if somebody has a good, fast, long serve. They can't determine their third ball so easily if you have an answer like this with a short change.
I was talking to you earlier, Adam, about that's a real strength of Paul. Does the fast, long serve, predicts it's going to come down to the back, and turns on his back, with his backhand side, with his forehand. Does it so well.
And you have to imagine that was part of the conversation in the corner with Coach Yosuke Kurashima and Gene Ueda. After Paul Drinkhall plays 2 points in a row, setting up with that fast, long serve, that has to be the conversation.
And now Paul's going to think twice before he goes there again with that long serve now.
That's right. But the parallel shots that we talked about with Paul, Gino Ueda is using very well out here down the line. You know, Drinkhall's got a very strong backhand. He's just going to have to be a little bit more comfortable to depend on it for positioning's sake.
I think Gino Ueda has slightly changed tactics in this set, and it's paying off big time.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see a bit of change as well. Again, catch me if you can. If you can keep changing the pattern so that the opponent never really picks up on what it is, and they're always one step behind. 2 points in a row out wide to the forehand. But now 2 points in a row for Drinkhall, playing the backhand to backhand. And Ueda not finding success in those backhand shots here. Chiquita falls off the table.
I think Ueda thought that had a little backspin on the ball, but I think Paul chucked it in with no spin at all. The fake serve, good serve, very effective.
Short side of the table here, very fast, but that has to be on the line. Davy Crockett back in the crowd. So civilized, not living like she's hunting for her food.
It's great to see.
Yeah, it really is. I like the development of humanity over the years. So Gino Ueda up by 3 right now. A second serve coming into the tower break. We will see if it's a 2-point differential or 4.
Red. 7-4.
Paul's got to be positive on this receive. Very important.
And for those of you a little bit newer to table tennis, the positive play that Will is talking about, the idea of being the first to get aggressive, to look for the opportunity and put pressure on early in the point. It's commonly thought of as whoever attacks first has the advantage in table tennis. Although interesting studies with Ma Long and Fang Zhendong, some very interesting analytics, if played wisely, allowing the opponent to have the first attack and counterattack can be very effective.
6-7.
That's actually something that Timo Boll does very well as well. He knows that in the exchange, he's not always going to get the first attack. We got a timeout here on Gino Ueda's side to try and stop the comeback. Paul Drinkhall, 2 big points in a row. But I was going to say that Timo has talked about it, how he's changed his game to prepare for the counter rallies. It's so important.
Do you think that's changed with the new ball as well? That counter top spin, maybe if you don't make the first attack, you still, with this new ball, you've got more of a chance to win the point. Do you think that makes a difference or not?
I would imagine, you know, it's marginal, but I do think it does make a difference. The new ball, we're talking from the 40 to the 40 plus, maybe a half a millimeter in diameter growth, but it does slow down. It spins a little bit less, so it does tend to make the rallies last a little bit longer. You do have a chance to stay in the point. Actually, we're still the Panayotis Gionis Ask a Pro Anything. There was a lot of conversation about the new ball because as a defender, people want to know, do you feel you have no chance now with the new ball? And he actually said he likes it. He likes it a lot because he feels more comfortable in the counter game, and with his forehand, he only plays topspin. Gionis does not chop with his forehand. He said never. And this was influenced by Chen Wei-Shing. He saw it and he loved it, and he said, that's working. I think around the age of 20 years old, maybe 19, he didn't go back. Only attack on the forehand. And the backhand of Drinkhall. The timeout has not helped Gino Ueda. Not yet. The comeback train continues. All aboard. Love how short that stroke is, Will.
Really good to see the team spirit there, getting behind Paul, willing him on. No, they know this is such a big set.
Forehand flip doesn't come down this time. Good touch by Gino Ueda to keep it low. The whole bench on their feet. Harimoto. It's interesting trying to read the emotions of Harimoto right now. But this is what it's like, 14 years or not. I mean, he's been playing professionally now, world class, for the past few years. And he's got another match to play, possibly, here today alone, just against England. Backhand edge of the table, but a big shot here from Drinkhall to stay in position and stay on top of that ripping forehand from Ueda.
I know I've said it a few times, but this is a really crucial stage of the match. 8-all, 1-all.
And a little reminder to those of you at home, this is a best-of-5 match. Oh, serve gets away. Paul leaving skid marks on the floor with his shoes after that one just gives the opening attack to Gene Ueda. Look at the distance there. This is unfortunate for Paul Drinkhall and quite fortunate for Gene Ueda, but a clear demonstration of how important it is to be specific on your service placement. Obviously not the intention of Paul. Much better serve in the forehand flip to the deep corner, ties it up at 9 points each. Now last game it was 9-all. It was Paul Drinkhall who had the serves and was in control, took 2 points in a row. Very deceptive with that open face of the racket.
That was a world-class shot. Looked like he was going to go in to touch the ball short and then flicked it out. Great shot from Paul Drinkhall.
So we will see if the outcome changes now that the serves are on the side of Gene Ueda, if he can take advantage and convert them like Paul Drinkhall did in game number 2. Oh, shovel serve doesn't work out. Try something new under pressure. It's always different. You could have done this serve 1,000 times in practice, but when you're on TV and it really counts, it just affects you differently. The Yoshimura serve does not come through, and game point to Paul Drinkhall on receive. Beautiful combination from Gene Ueda. The long serve. Drinkhall's receive was strong, and Ueda was there to counter. It almost comes back for one more shot.
Paul didn't do a lot wrong there. It was a superb receive. Gene Ueda really well played under pressure.
So here we are, deuce, Drinkhall with the serve. Oh, burn! We've seen that a few times with the Ma Ling-like after motion coming around the ball. Ueda doesn't seem to be bothered at all by that after motion. You know, there were those 2 points in a row that were big for Ueda where he played it out wide to the forehand and Drinkhall was left dazing in the backhand corner. And now Ueda with the serve.
Ueda with a world-class shot there.
Oh, the flip that is punished, well anticipated. Gene Ueda right there to counter back cross court. 12-10 and a 2-1 lead. Japan with a good position here. Drinkhall, uphill battle. We'll see what happens in game 4 coming up right after this.
Otherwise, it's so good.
And where I flick, he's ready.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to slow sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. I think so. It's better. Sometimes the middle is perfect. Okay, sometimes he tries to hold it around, but it's really good. And also sometimes it's wrong.
Out of the way is good.
So you're not doing exactly the same every time.
Come on.
Back for game number 4. Gene Ueda leading 2-1 over the hometown favorite, Paul Drinkhall, representing England in front of the home crowd. Very tight games. Deuce in the last game. 12-10 Gene Ueda escaped. Despite that service error at 10-9, he collected himself quite well to come back and win the next 3 points. Seeing a bit more speed and even a little bit more power from Ueda than I'm used to, that cracking shot. So Will, you know Paul Drinkhall well. What do you think he needs right now to unleash the beast, to be the best player he can be?
That would be nice. Superb stuff from Paul. He was unlucky in that rally. But he's just got to keep asking questions of Jin Ueda, who I think's had a good few sets. It's 50-50 for me. These two are going at it hell for leather, and it's a top quality match.
Well, right now, odds-wise, I would definitely favor Jin Ueda as he's leading 2-1. One game closer with this parallel shot from Drinkall. Very nice pattern, and Ueda was expecting it to the other corner.
Again there, Paul using that long serve and then getting his forehand in after it. Superb stuff.
Nice change here. This is a little role reversal. Instead of Paul Drinkall behind the table, the distance was greater for Jin Ueda, and Paul Drinkall, instead of trying to play aggressively, which many people fall into the trap of doing, he plays that softer, spinny shot. Makes it very tough for the timing of Ueda from that far behind the table. Actually had this experience myself in a match recently in the Philippines. Someone was fishing, and it's tempting to be like, you know what, I'm going to hit it as hard as I can. I'm going to keep it deep on the table. But a slightly less spinny shot means the trajectory is a lower percentage shot. And also, sometimes it's more valuable to break the rhythm and get someone out of position than play aggressively, especially if they're in position for that aggressive shot.
Great speed over the table from Jin Ueda there. Backhand off the bounce. Paul's got to stick in and hang tough here.
So first towel break of the game, and Jin Ueda leading by 2. As you mentioned, it's now or never for Paul Drinkall. Paulie D. I don't normally comment on the compactness of a Chole, but I felt like the compactness of Paul's Chole there showed how focused he was to get quickly ready back to business for the next point. You know, we've seen, it's so rare that we see someone serve right-hander versus right-hander for an ace down the line on the forehand side.
He went for it there. It's a very high-risk serve.
Yeah.
But he went for it. Super stuff. But Jin Ueda was equal to it. Great forehand.
Is that 2 grunts in a row from Drinkall? 2 grunts and a Chole. I'll have 2 orders of grunt with a side of Chole, please. Drinkall within 1 point.
Come on, Paul. He means business.
Which is funny because Jin Ueda, I always say, looks like a businessman. Like a man coming home from the office, just very clean cut.
He does.
5-4.
Clark Kent.
Wearing a suit.
Yeah, always. No matter what he's wearing, he looks like he's wearing a suit.
Yeah.
GQ, that's him.
Yeah.
Nice change of placement, keeps the wrist back, leads out, bends it away.
Big time here for Paul Drinkall.
Little reminder, in the hole right now, on deck I should say, you got Koki Niwa versus Liam Pitchford. It's going to be a tough match, but we would have thought the same for Pitch. And he won 3-0 earlier over Harimoto. Tough service error here, though, in the attempt to come back.
Paul's getting some good support from the crowd. Just encouraging him off of that service error. Unfortunate.
Right back. Feeds him the long ball, gets the step around, catches him out of position, and plays it right down the line. Feel the nerves of Tom Jarvis right now.
Great anticipation there from Paul. Backhand block down the line.
Yeah, and this is thinking in combination, right? I mean, it's not just anticipation. It's a serve that's well practiced, that he knows what's likely to come back. It's highly unlikely Ueda's going to try and turn the corner and play it to the short side.
Come on, Paul. That is fantastic stuff. Showing some real fight here.
Both of these players a good 2 steps behind the table, and as fast as the feet are, Gino Ueda checking the floor to see where he left the sole of his shoe on that one.
Is it momentum swing for England?
Definitely 2 points in a row. One more to go against serve for Paul Drinkhall. We'll see if he can send this to a 5th and deciding game. Oh, shot selection, tough ball. Drinkhall's not going to be happy about going for that, what seemed to be a little bit of a floating chop attempt. Yeah, it's sort of a side spin chop from under the table, but he just didn't get the distance on it. Need a little bit of topspin, maybe for a fishing shot there to keep Ueda back away from the net. Easier said than done. Incredible rally from the start.
6-9.
And this could be the thread coming unraveled here. A nice run from Paul Drinkhall. It's not over, but it's 2 quick points in a row that seem to go, I guess I would say, salvageable points. He wasn't out of the points.
Gino Ueda is so solid, so tough to come back from this sort of scoreline against this sort of quality.
10-6.
And that's 3 in a row. Now 4 match points for Gino Ueda to get a 2nd point on the board for a 2-1 lead for Japan. Strong finish from Gino Ueda, completely kicking the legs out from under Paul Drinkhall. From 4-7 to 6-7, and then Gino Ueda just turned on the afterburners and left no regrets on the table. 3 games to 1, a very big win here, and he's sort of the wild card for me, Will. I mean, this was the match that was the one. All the names, Koki Niwa, Tomokazu Harimoto, they're known around the world. They're quite high in the world rankings. Gino Ueda proved very powerful here today.
Yeah, but we spoke before, Adam, and you seemed pretty confident that he was a solid player. And he's come in and he's done what he said on the tin. He's done the job against Paul. He was under pressure, but he held his nerve. Big win for him. Now England need to stand up. What do you think is going to happen now, Adam? It's all to play for still.
Well, definitely still a chance. Pitch was super dependable in ultimate table tennis. I mean, just really impressive in India. Same in league play in his most recent match, and then he's already started this off against Japan, beating Tomokazu Harimoto 3-0. You cannot turn a blind eye to that. You might have to try if you're Koki Niwa, but anything is still possible. And remember, he was an integral part of the match, the team that made it all the way to the semifinals in Malaysia. So pressure on Pitch. Let's see what happens. It's coming up right after this. Stay right here for Pitch versus Koki Niwa.
Red, white.
Here we go then. We've got a big matchup. Liam Pitchford of England against Koki Niwa, who's got to respond after his team are under a little bit of pressure by the English, but they are trailing 2-1. Liam Pitchford here, 24 years old, world ranked 85. He will be super confident after that win he's just had against Harimoto. Such a big match this. Liam will really want to back up that performance that he's had earlier today in this match. Koki Niwa, 23 years old, world number 6. Such an attractive playing style. Goes for all sorts of shots. looks like he's just playing in a playground. He's so relaxed. Really enjoys his table tennis. All set for such an incredible encounter between two great players. The atmosphere here really good at the Copper Box in London. Everyone waiting in anticipation for these two to get underway. Just having their warm-up. Both would have been practicing prior to the match. Nearly ready to go. How do you think it's going to go, Adam?
Well, I'm definitely excited. I mean, I'm always excited. You see a little twiddle there of the racket from Koki Niwa, turned around. He agrees that he's ready. I think it'll be exciting. I always wonder, when you get these creative players like Koki Niwa, styles that you don't see so often, creating just really highlight-worthy shots against a variety of different styles, how do they blend? Will it blend, right? That's the question. So pitch here to start off with the serve in the best of 5 and right down the line, a very smooth start. This is crucial. It is now or never time for England. As you mentioned, they are down 1-2. First team to win 3 matches wins. I'll check their head-to-head. I'm very curious. Koki Niwa would be my favorite to win this. He would be expected to win by most people's standards, but you would have said the same about Harimoto, and 3-0 for pitch, so he's hot right now. Don't let his world ranking fool you.
1-2.
Pitch looks super confident just right from the start of this match, going for his shots. Looks like he's in the zone and he's carried it on from his last match. Great to see. That was an awesome forehand from Koki Niwa. 2-2. Very even start.
Shot block comes down but sits up a little bit high and pitches right there. You know, it was Paul Drinkall who was on the unfortunate end of a few of those chop blocks from Koki Niwa on the doubles earlier, but now it's pitch's turn to taste them. Oh, nice inside-out forehand. Not a lot of side spin, but just a whole lot of angle there. Very confident play from pitch.
Pitch looks super cool. Looks like he's ready for this match.
Deep push, heavy spin.
Loads of backspin on that push. Absolutely hacked it out. And it's good tactical start from Pitchford.
6-2.
Is that a helicopter overhead?
I think it might have been.
Wow. Just to add to the intensity a little bit, we could feel the vibration here in the booth.
7-2.
So far, Pitch is continuing the form that we saw earlier today, the unthinkable. Little break there for Koki Niwa, little help off the top of the net. You know, I need to look back at the 2016 Malaysia matches, but if I remember, both of Liam Pitchford's matches left him with a lot to stay awake late at night. Like really not easy sleep after 2 matches. And I think that might be the type of thing that motivates you to work hard and say never again.
It looks like he's playing better table tennis than he's played before in his career here. He's absolutely flying. We know the potential of Liam Pitchford. We know how good he is, but he's proving it here. If he gets 2 wins of this quality, it just shows what a good player he is.
We will see. Still a long way to go. And that's 4 points in a row for Koki Niwa. He was down 2-7. What is that man thinking? What is Koki Niwa thinking? That is the question.
Well, I think no one wants to play Liam Pitchford when he's playing like this. I don't think he'll be enjoying this, Koki Niwa. I think he'll be feeling a bit of pressure playing, you know, in Liam Pitchford's home country. Tough place to come.
It's funny, if he is enjoying it, we wouldn't know by facial expression. I think that the closest thing to facial expression is the artistic style of play That's the biggest indicator that he's enjoying playing, is that he's trying creative shots. We see this from Shushin as well, bringing side spin in from off the table. Had a chance to glance down earlier at the doubles match versus Sweden, and Shushin pulling out all sorts of crazy stuff. Gotta love it.
It really is incredible to watch when you see these guys in full flow, fully relaxed to play those kind of shots.
It's a big point here for Pitch. He was up 7-2, and then 6 out of the next 7 points went to Koki Niwa. A nice break of momentum, a second serve here to earn a game point. Oh, perfect shot. This point had everything. I mean, they were really testing each other on the wide angles. And finally a shot that uses the middle of tall Liam Pitchford.
Superb shot making from both players there. Really crucial stage of this first game.
Koki Niwa saved one from wide to the forehand that I thought was a surprise that would have won the point. Solid flip, and as a tall player, this has to be an ingredient for Pitch. We know he's got the backhand, we know he's comfortable off the table, but the short forehand flip pays off here.
You see Koki Niwa a little bit surprised by that receive.
Black. 9-10.
From below the table, scoops it up, but Niwa right there waiting for the third ball attack.
I'd like to see Liam try his reverse a few times from the forehand side. I thought that was really effective against Harry Mortok.
It's always interesting to see how it changes with a left-handed player on the other side as well.
Just that variation sometimes I think can maybe make a difference, but Koki Niwa pulled it back. Really solid play from him.
So game point saved now as well by Pitch. Shot block attempt, there it is. From this camera angle, you really had a sense. Tries again, does not pay off. I think if we get the other camera angle of that, we'll see. It's funny, his percentages are higher than most in the world, but still, very few players are so successful with the shot block.
11-12.
Liam Pitchford's backhand at the moment is just flying. Everything is going on.
Oh, and finally the curse of the commentator. He's got the forehand flip with side spin, testing the footwork. I mean, one small step for Liam Pitchford, 2 giant steps for Koki Niwa. I think that was a presidential quote taken a little bit for a new direction.
I
but
love
still,
that.
Niwa gets it back into play and the backhand doesn't land. This time the surprise a little bit flatter and faster.
Really good variation from Pitch. For this time, massive point for him.
He doesn't hesitate, he doesn't fish, he doesn't lob. He goes for the counter at the first opportunity, but doesn't connect. 4th deuce point in game number 1.
Right tactic there from Pitch, went for it.
Beautiful down the line.
13-14.
That's his strength. Again, over the table with the backhand. So quick, such good hands, Liam Pitchford. Can he take it this time?
Not yet, not on that opportunity. The service game, I wonder what the conversation is right now with Niwa. This time the chop block lands. I thought maybe Pitch would try to play the short side, go around the net, but he works with the spin, plays it cross court, and Koki Niwa's there.
Pitchford backhand down the line is causing Koki Niwa some real problems, but he just got that chop block on. Superb shot from Niwa.
Oh, heavy rotation from under the table. Koki Niwa sneaks out game number 1, 16-14, and we'll be back for game number 2 right after this.
そのレシーブだけチキータ行くなら少し真ん中やってて、でたまにバック、今だとほとんどバックじゃなくてここを意識させておいてこっちに行かせないともう多分で縦回転綺麗だったらもうストップからでつっつきもミドルバックだとストレートやられたらもうちょっと早いからこれできないからループになってるだったらフォアミドルぐらいストップかちょっとつって、なるべくちっちゃいとこから自分次4球目しっかり頑張ってからラリーでチキータないからうまくこっちとこっち混ぜ合わせてサブレ
Back for game number 2, Koki Niwa, 16-14 takes game number 1. Now head to head.
Japan to
They have
serve.
played twice
Bravo.
before. Koki Niwa won both of those matches.
That's a great start. That's a great start from Liam. Reading the serve, playing out wide to Koki Niwa's forehand. Really positive start from Liam Pitchford.
Shot block waiting, he's ready.
Two.
Bit of momentum here maybe for Koki Niwa.
Oh man, Niwa turns his back to the table and Pitchford comes right in for the down-the-line winner. Look at this, not an easy ball, has to play it risky there.
Sensational shot.
3-2.
There's the shovel serve. Effective.
3-0.
Great serve there from Liam. Topspin on the ball. Koki Niwa just not managing to keep it down.
Loving the lobs from Niwa. Oh, with the side spin out of reach. He looks so smooth and fast. I mean, I've seen Niwa play away from the table, but it's been a while since I've seen him live. Maybe much like Shushin, he's just trying to collect different points. They're using that height to put some side spin on, and surprise, nobody's home. Knocking on the front door on the short side of the table.
That's class from Liam Pitchford down the line. Great to see.
6-4.
Pitch had a gigantic lead in game number 1, 7-2. Wasn't able to take the game, just had 6-3. But I think it's a reminder, right?
Yeah, for me, and I might be biased, but I feel like he's on top in this match. I feel like he's dominating most of the rallies. I really do.
I think there's definitely no question that you might be biased. Yeah.
I just feel like he's playing really positive table tennis, and his belief is so high. I feel like he could come good here. I fancy him in this match.
Oh, beautiful chop block. This one is low and aggressive. A dart. He's got Pitch smiling. Pitch nodding his head saying, bravo, hats off to you, good sir.
That was an incredible shot. Fantastic to see.
You know what, but bias or no bias, I mean, the truth is, Liam Pitchford won 3-0 over Tomokazu Harimoto. So that's, I mean, that is history. That is factual.
Left. 6-0.
But 3 points in a row for Koki Niwa. That lead early on and quickly tied up. Ball crack?
Okay.
I think it could be, yeah.
Okay.
Problem with the ball?
It's broken or
Yeah.
That was perfect. Okay, okay, crack, not okay. He was asking, like, okay? I think he was probably asking, are you guys both okay with the new ball? It just sounded funny in that terminology there. Little reminder, The balls here are double fish ball. They're using a new ball different than the World Tour D40 Plus. Just long on that lob. Timeout here, the call. Pitch says okay. Coach Quilberry, Marcus in the corner.
It's a good timeout for Pitch. I think he just needs to calm down, think about what he's going to do, how he's going to get out of this situation. 1-0 down, 7-6 down in this game. Paul there looking on. It's a massive, massive game for Liam Pitchford.
For me, it's a good timeout in the sense that it's happening in this game. But in some senses, it's a little bit late. And who knows? I mean, it's a good timeout if he wins the game, right? If Pitch wins this game, then it pays off. But he had 6-3, and now he's down. It's always tougher to get someone pumped up who has lost the lead than someone who still has the lead, right?
Great point. And also in the first set, he also had a lead in the first set. And, you know, you can take a timeout in the first set. That was a crucial set.
Right, especially in a best-of-5. And who am I to criticize? Just a thought, right? I mean, Coach Marcus Quilberry knows the game very well, has years and years of successful experience. And a good start coming right out of the timeout. So let's see. He also knows Pitch as a player better than I do. So he might very well know some details, some insider details that make this call a better call.
Seems to have worked. Pitch really pumped up after that timeout.
So far, so good. Good opportunity here, but one thing about Koki Niwa that makes him very difficult, other than his unpredictability and his variety, how much spin he gets. You could see that ball really just staying low off the bounce. Tough shot for Pitch to count. 9-8. 2 points right back. 2 out of the timeout for Pitch and 2 for Koki Niwa. Tough serve, a little bit more length on it, but low to the net fast and half long. 2 game points for Koki Niwa.
Crowd trying to show their support for Liam. They know how important these 2 points could be.
Koki Niwa does what Koki Niwa wants, at control of the back of the table. Just standing there, and it feels like he's pulling the strings, a puppeteer. He pitches the marionette. But we will see. One more chance. Next game coming up. Stay right here. Koki Niwa versus Liam Pitchford.
全部同じだと角度だとポンとフリックされるかもしれない。まあサーブ効いてる以上はどんどん効いてもまだリードしてる。違うことやらない。でもバックスタイルだけちょっと待ってないでしょ。
Back for game number 3, Koki Niwa has taken the last 2 games from way behind. He's quite crafty. Shot blocking in the slower spinning one. When you're as clever as Koki Niwa in the game and you're always changing, it just doesn't allow a player like Pitch to use his rhythm.
Great creativity. Koki Niwa there.
That's a tough one. Pitch is tall. We've seen him win 2 points now with that bending forehand, side-swiping wide to Koki Niwa's forehand. Now also when we talk about stature, as fast as Koki Niwa is, his steps don't get him quite as far. He's going to be much more effective near the table, like we saw there.
He must be such a frustrating player to play against, I feel, because when I watch him, he looks like he is so relaxed, and like he's not under any pressure when he pulls off these kind of shots, these kind of chop blocks. It kind of puts even more pressure under your opponent because you feel a bit silly when someone can play those shots against you.
It's like having a heated argument with someone who's calm, right?
Yeah, it's just so frustrating for Liam.
Right off the bounce, bold play once again. You know, we see Koki Niwa. I think Koki Niwa's style of play overshadows the fact that he's a very tough opponent. You just think of all the creative shots he makes and how much fun he is to watch. Chop block again. Oh, does not. I love that pose at the end, though. Almost like he's going to make a speech. He's going to address somebody.
It's incredible. It's incredible. The shots that he can pull off, it's brilliant to watch. That backhand chop block, and then he went for the forehand fade across court. Great to see.
Even his punches, I feel like it's just so difficult to tell where he's going to go. Wow, that is not an easy ball. I was watching Ma Long play earlier today and really enjoying seeing him again, and reminded how easy he makes it look to take a full stroke from a shot that's over the table. Koki Niwa just did the same. What? What just happened? What did he do? Chop block. Look at this. Look at this. What? What is it? What is in the brain of Koki Niwa?
Why did he do that?
Somebody study this man deeply. I love pitch. I wish Koki Niwa won that point.
Somehow.
Just imagine the screams you hear from me now. Imagine if he had won that point. I would have fallen out of my chair.
7-4.
Strange goings on here.
Koki Niwa.
And what's going through his head with that shot? He's enjoying himself, isn't he? He's just enjoying himself now.
He can do whatever he wants.
Having a lot of fun out there. Looked under pressure in the first set, in the first couple of sets, but now I think he's coming into his own, and some of the shots that he's coming out with are so hard to play.
Will, I'm not over it yet. I'm not over that duck.
I'm not over it either. I want to see it again.
I mean, you have to wonder, the way it's affected me sitting here in the commentator's booth, it's all I can think about. And for pitch, you have to wonder the same.
I think that would affect you when you see someone doing crazy things like this, you know, playing crazy shots, playing chop blocks, ducking.
Look at the score. Just look at the score. I mean, this is not only match point, this is team match point 6 times over. After 2 games, the first one, 16-14. Just waiting there for the block. Another casual block attempt, but still 5 match and team match points for Koki Niwa and Japan. He wants to do it boldly. He's still having fun at some point.
I don't know how I'd feel if I was playing against him, you know. It almost feels slightly
condescending,
arrogant maybe, you know, when you're 10-5 up and you're trying to play these shots.
You know what? Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by that? I'd be a little bit like, come on.
Well,
you know?
I get called for that more than almost anybody because my style of play is just that I'm weak at the professional stuff. Koki Niwa can do it against the best players in the world. He can do it against Xu Xin, he can do it against Fang Bo. You can't be insulted when somebody's doing that out here against the best players in the world. You just have to accept that's their style.
You can see why some people would get, but yeah, you shouldn't be. He's just one of those creative freaks, isn't he? Just one of those creative players that can come up with these shots.
It happened to me in a tournament years and years ago. Somebody said I said good game afterwards. He said, I thought it was a little cocky of you to be lobbing and fishing when you were up. And I said, please don't misunderstand. That's my style. And Koki Niwa, we know. He's on the TV doing this. This is his style. Oh, not yet. Beautiful shot here from pitch down the line to save another match and team match points.
Great stuff from Liam there. Forehand down the line, superb.
And And there it is,
11-7.
Koki Niwa, a little flick of the wrist, top and side spin. And very calm and cool, no fist pump, a handshake. And Koki Niwa has delivered under pressure, 2 for 2.
Played an awesome game there, Koki Niwa, because Liam was playing superbly well in that match and started it so positively. Koki Niwa, some of the shots that he came out with. What about that duck?
It's all I can think about. They're gonna be serving duck at dinner tonight. Duck everywhere. I'm gonna go home quacking after that. We will see the replays. Make sure if you haven't already liked the official ITTF Facebook page, it's just mind-boggling and puzzling. Pitch still shaking his head out there. I don't know how much of that was about the Peking duck there, or how much of it was just the score in game number 3 and the challenge. But really, Koki Niwa to be studied. And as I was starting to mention, ITTF's official Facebook page. Make sure you're following there for all the excitement, the highlight clips, the official ITTF YouTube channel, and of course ITTF.com for head-to-head stats. And the live that happened throughout the day on 4 different tables. What a day it was. And it's only just begun, Will. It's been a pleasure commentating with you.
It's been an absolute pleasure, Adam. And we're gonna see the shot.
There it is.
There it is.
The highlight. Man.
That's great to see.
All right, so enjoy the highlights, and we look forward to having you back tomorrow at 10 a.m. local time right here in the Copper Box Arena. You've been watching the 2018 ITTF Team World Cup. Will Bailey here with me. I'm Adam Bobrow.
I'm Will Bailey. Thanks very much for listening. See you tomorrow.